Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Randy Koch is with us. He's the Vice President of Partner Development at our friends OEM Interactive. First time on the roundtable. Randy, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure as well. And, great to meet you. I've heard all about you. You've got a retail background. I want to ask you some questions about that today. First of all, Randy, I can't think of a better time to be in fixed ops, particularly in your niche in parts. Parts, I've said it before when Aaron was on the show, parts is hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Parts, I've always felt that even from my experience at the dealer level was the heart and soul kind of to the dealership. I know a lot of times it kind of gets put on the back burner, but as someone that grew up in the industry, my father was a fixed ops director for 40 plus years.
Wow.
So it was kind of ingrained in me at a young age, even when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old doing his physical inventory counts. I didn't know at the time that why he was having me do all the counting of the bends of the nuts and bolts and the fuses. Pretty sure it's because he didn't want to, because how meticulous it was, but how important that kind of stuff is, and making sure that we have everything and that having that inventory management and control. So again, I was brought into this business from a very young age.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. That's a fascinating background. So did you plan on getting into the business after that experience, or how did this all come about?
No. So ironic you say that, because when I was probably 16, the GM of the store that my father worked at asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted his job. So ironically, but I didn't know at the time what I wanted to do. Went to college, played baseball, got a marketing degree, and when I got out, it was 2010. Not a great time to, the Caterpillars, all the headquarters were up where we're currently located. State Farm, nobody was hiring, so we had an opportunity to work at the dealership. So I started out as an advisor. First year out of college, moved into the service department, assistant service manager. 2-3 years later, became the fixed ops director, and 8 years later, became the GM of our sister store. And obviously, we started. In that time, we actually decided to start the e-commerce. That was actually before I even got there. It was there, and did some wonderful things with that.
Let's talk a little bit about your role at OEM Interactive. First of all, for those who don't know, give us the lay of the land. What does OEM Interactive do? And then tell us about your role, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So OEM Interactive is a full marketing service for fixed operations. We specialize in parts, accessories, online sales. I actually partnered myself when I was at the dealer with OEM Interactive. I used several marketing services before. Nothing was really kind of getting off. I was doing maybe $1,000 a month in sales at the most. Ironically, went out to NADA, met with OEM Interactive, and we hit it off. I knew at the time, wow, this guy really knew how to be a partner, right? And so he wanted to learn about me. I wanted to learn about them. First month we took off with their marketing services. We did 15K. Next month we did 30. 6 months later we're doing 50. A year later we're doing 100, and it just kept growing. It got because and really the main reason what happened was I became a student of these manufacturer programs, right? Whether it was like obsolescence tools, buying in bulk, the kickbacks that the manufacturers give. I really wanted to understand early on as the fixed ops director, okay, how can I utilize this? And then I would share some of that information with OEM Interactive. Okay. And so they took and they were like, okay, that we've got our secret sauce. You're telling me, okay, you can buy this. Okay, let's run campaigns on this. Let's do, there's certain things. And so they listened, and that was huge. And we had, monthly conversations, and that's what helped grow so fast. And they were saying, hey, take photos, let's do some videos. making sure we're updating whether it's the accessories or parts, or we wanted to sell T-shirts, hat. It didn't matter. Like we were basically one and one. So OEM Interactive is an extension of your dealership. We don't like to use the words vendors. There's a reason why the title, it's in our title, partner development. We are there to help you develop and grow as a full fixed operations.
That's fascinating, and that growth was lightning fast, Randy. Really quick. So tell us what you're doing now at OEM Interactive now that you've joined the team.
Yeah. So when I joined the team about 2 years ago, my role is very much partner focused. We have a well-rounded team of automotive enthusiasts. There's a lot of us that have, myself coming from the dealer background. We have gentlemen from aftermarket space. We have former parts managers. We have people that have been on the platform spaces, and they get it, right? They've done this before, whether they've either boxed themselves or they've had the communications with customers. We've been in their step, or we've been where they've been or where they are. And so we can relate to them. And so what we do is, yes, there's the PPCs and the Google ads, and that's just half of it, right? There's, okay, what's the best shipping strategy? How we're helping our partners, we're looking at their communications, making sure that, hey, make sure that it's not all in like capitalized letters, right? So we're not yelling at the customers, or, as it seems. There's we're doing a lot of hands-on, if they want to make tweaks to the sites, we're doing that. Some of them want to be text-based. We have a wonderful platform called Parts Messenger Pro, where it helps our dealers be more efficient, where they can handle multiple conversations. They can, sometimes if they don't have the capacity to answer all the phone calls, this is a great tool to be able to give them, and they are able to use that on the site and be able to communicate, and it helps conversions, right? If you can answer somebody quickly, hey, is this part in stock? Yes, it is. Here's you send them a link to it. They can click on it, and they can go about their day. It's there's a lot of moving pieces, and one thing that with the partner development team that we do is, and it's kind of like I used to, as a former fixed ops GM, we get a lot of vendors come in, they sign with you, and then you never hear from them again. I could not stand that. And I did not want, when we started creating this partner development team, I wanted to make sure that our partners heard from us, twice a month, whether it was by email or phone call. And so again, we really kind of consider ourselves an extension of our partner's dealership.
Go back to the time when you were the fixed ops director. Tell me why you decided to get into e-commerce. And if you wouldn't mind, tell it to your peers, the other fixed ops directors who are watching today. What made that decision happen?
Yeah, so it's so the online was already there when I got there. Again, it wasn't doing very well, but we saw this great opportunity to, and honestly, just like everybody else, is make more money, right? Find a different avenue to make more money. What I didn't foresee is when I started growing was, obviously you have to start stocking more parts. So your inventory had to be like in line, had to be top notch. We also took over a dealer that had a lot of obsolescence. So we needed a tool to help us get rid of that stuff. And that's exactly what it did. So not only did we get it to make more money or find another avenue to grow, what I didn't foresee was how much it was actually going to help our technicians, my service department, and also the sales department. The fact that you're selling more, and a lot of these inventory tools, as you sell more, they ask you to stock more. These cars are not, they're not sitting idle. You're not waiting for another part. So we had more efficient inventory to where the technicians aren't standing around and waiting for parts or you got to order them. It's there. So that was huge for our service department. Sales, so you get a car sales. People are excited. They want to get the new floor mats or the cargo tray. We have it. We've got it in stock because we're selling so much online that we're buying in, more bulk.
Talk to me some more about the efficiencies and the time-saving strategies that you've been able to develop that now you can pass on to others in the industry, because I think that's really unique.
Yeah, I mean, it goes down to, even like boxes. I mean, it sounds so silly, but you got to buy boxes, right? Or I'll be honest, what I used to do from the very beginning, I got a little bit of this from my dad. He's a little tight with the money sometimes, which is a good thing, because I would literally go to body shops and say, hey, what are you doing with these boxes that don't have maybe if it was a Mazda, it was just a plain box and they were just broken down and they were just going to recycle them. I was like, you know what? I could save money by, using that 24 by 12 by 8 box or that 8 by 8 by 8 box. And so I would go to body shops or I had a buddy that had his own business and he'd get box and ironically they'd say, hey, Boxman's here to pick up this supply this week, but it was saving money. Right. And especially at the very beginning. And then efficiency size is, we had everything labeled. Like, here's an 8-inch box. Here's a 10-inch box. Here's a 12-inch box. Here's 18. Like, we got to the point where we inventoried our boxes just like we did our parts. We wanted to make sure like our shipping solution was, it was like a warehouse. It was a warehouse, but it was very streamlined. There's things like Parts Messenger Pro that really helped us communicate better. That was huge for us. When you're getting 50, really? 75 phone calls a day and you're able to kind of, control those a little, minimize those a little bit, but you're still getting that communication with the consumer. That was huge. We were able to handle more communications on a daily basis. There's all sorts of, like I said, Parts Messenger Pro was very successful for us. Trying to think of, there are all sorts of efficiencies, right, Ted? And I'll be honest, like when I first started, we made a lot of mistakes. But you learn as you grow, and that's what I'm trying to minimize. And that's what our team does is we, tell our partners about, our failures and our successes, because we want them to know that we've been there and we've done what they're currently doing.
Here we are, end of January, looking out into the new year. Still got 11 months left. What do you see ahead for dealers in 2024, and how can OEM Interactive help those dealers? As a true partner in the industry, and what can dealers expect?
I think 2024 is going to be a great year, especially for e-commerce sales. E-commerce is over the last few years has really taken a boom, right? I think now is as good a time of any. I think obviously with car sales starting, we can go down like interest rates, and car sales should be starting to incline even. But at the same time, used cars are the average age of a used car is continues to grow. And so what's that mean? That means more parts and accessories are going to need to be purchased. So I think 2024 looks to be great. OEM Interactive is, obviously I'm a little biased, is the #1 marketing company, especially for fixed ops. Like I said, no other company out there has like-minded people that, have been in the industry, understand it, and then also have, the background of, big marketing companies that have done like Super Bowl ads. And so we're well-rounded. We understand the industry. And again, I think 2024 is going to be a great year.
You're going to NADA. I see a booth number scrolling across the bottom. Tell us about that at the end of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. So OEM Interactive is going to be at NADA for the first time. This will be exciting. For me, I'll be on the opposite side of the table. So that's definitely going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. please stop out. Anybody that wants to learn more, obviously you can go to oeminteractive.com and find out even more. You contact us. There, like I said, there's more than just parts and accessory sales. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to be putting out at NADA.
Well, Randy, congratulations to you and OEM Interactive. Big part of the roundtable. You're in an exciting field you're in right now. So again, and thank you for being with us here on the roundtable.
Thank you, Ted. I really appreciate your time.
Randy Koch, everybody, from OEM Interactive, here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.